she's finally taking mine to the bottom. She told me, oh man, committed a crime. She's doing time, now she's hanging in the bottom. I seen her out there on the avenue all by herself. Sure need help from the bottom. I seen her, preacher man tried to help her. She cussed him out and hit him in the head with the bottle. They turned to me, they asked me, Gilner, don't you think it's a crime?
No question, it is.
No way.
It's a crime. And here we are. Here we are, Freedom Friday. But it is certainly a crime. Let me be clear. You know, there's a lot going on. My good buddy Steve Bannon was arrested yesterday on a yacht, $20 million yacht. I wonder how much it cost us to do that, to grandstand and execute that mission. Why couldn't they just wait for him to get back to land and arrest him? They had to go effect an arrest at sea. Why is Hillary Clinton still walking around? Why is Bill Clinton still walking around, not going to jail? Hillary Clinton clearly violated and ignored subpoenas. So did Eric Holder. So when these Democrats talk to you about privilege and fairness, it's all about them. They're the ones who have the privilege. And certainly the fairness. That's why I could never be a Democrat. You know why? Because I could never crack the code. Somebody told me once, well, who's your parent? I was, doing some work with the Democrat Party. So when I was younger in college. And we were dealing with these adults. And they were basically saying that you couldn't climb in the party because you didn't have a pedigree in the party as a black person. I didn't give a 2 cents about John Conyers or Congressman Diggs, who was my cousin, or some of these other black folks in the Democrat Party. But they basically disowned you and tried to act like your input was insignificant because your mom and daddy were not part of the establishment. Like, okay, good story. Santita Jackson. Santita Jackson and I used to work together at a station here in Chicago called WVON 1690. And according to the Nielsen ratings, for a host, regular talk show host, Santita had the worst ratings on the station. She was on from 9 to 12. She had the worst ratings on the station. I had one of the worst times because I came on at 7 and I was off at 10. So I came on either during dinner or shortly after dinner. Then I was off at 10 o'clock at night. And the signal went down at night. Now, Santita is in broad daylight and the signal is at its highest point in terms of strength. It was like a 10 megawatt station, and at night it went down to 1. But my show was number 2 at the station. My show was number 2 in popularity and being listened to. This is a black audience. Why? Because I told the truth. I was what? Mr. Factual. I told the truth, Mr. Factual. So I was off and on doing interviews with different TV slots, different radio shows. And Santita used to always say to me, Charles, you should be at Fox. You should get picked up at Fox. They should really pick you up. Blah, blah. Well, let me tell you about Fox. I worked with Fox for about 2.5 years. And I worked with Fox about 2.5 years. And these people, they like to use you. They like to use and abuse you. So if you keep coming for free, they'll keep taking your input and getting you up in the morning and driving you places and stuff like that, right? But I wanted to be paid. I wanted to be a contributor. Contributors get paid. They wouldn't make me a contributor, but they made when Santita got fired from WVON, she moved to New York. And what she gets picked up, they make her contributor. Can you believe that? And all she was doing was talking kumbaya, like that woman, Alveda King. Well, my Uncle Martin, my uncle, he is a woman. I mean, this is how these black church people. This is how what would you call it? The lack of character they have, the hypocrisy in with these people. Um, this chick, Alveda King, she's supposed to be a pastor, right? Like her father, who was, I guess, Martin's brother. And she tries to play off that. She's no Martin. She's no, I don't know what her daddy's name was. His name was, shoot. I can't come up with his name right now. But I'm going to say Alveda King's daddy. Elvira King's father. Yeah. His name is, what is it? Martin Luther King's brother, AD. AD, that's the younger brother of Dr. King. And Naomi. So I guess Naomi is her. Mm-hmm. Naomi is her mom. So look, so when you Google Alveda King, it's a true story. I just Google it, right? This is what it says. Alveda King was born in Atlanta, Georgia. She was the first of 5 children of A.D., the younger brother of Martin Luther King, and his wife, Naomi King. King says her mother wanted to abort her so she could continue college, but her grandfather was able to persuade her to keep the child, I mean, keeping her. Ooh, that's heavy. I knew there was a lot of stuff going on here. Now, when I'm looking at Alveda King's background and her children, I'm sure, let's see, Alveda King's, because I've had her on my show. I didn't think she was a good interview at all. She talks that kumbaya. My uncle Martin and my daddy AD, and, I'm like, what's his name? Adam Clayton Powell. I can't stand these Southern Negroes, man. I can't stand them. So, what's this final emoji? Let's go here. All right. So, Alveda King's children. I'll put on here children. AD was a good looking guy. LD was he was a good looking dude. Mm-hmm. Mm. So uh Alveda was born in 51. So she's 69 right now. And she has a couple of children. Let's see here. Parents, grandparents. I'm looking for something else here. And it won't let me look it up right now because I'm on air, I bet. That's the only reason I can't get to what I'm looking for. Let's see. Darlene. Let's see here. I'm trying to look this up. Sorry, folks. Usually I have this stuff all looked up. Have it done. So I just go to it and rattle it off. But today it's Freedom Friday. I wonder if my boy's gonna call in. Pedro. Let me hit Pedro, see if he's out there. Let's see here. Pedro. Pedro. Yeah. Call me. Let's see. Did he just call in? Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, he's gonna call in. And I'm gonna pick him up. You hear my dude, Pedro. He's such a great guy. Just a real trooper, real American. But I was going to tell you about Alveda King and age. I'm going to say age. Age. Let's see here. Age. So you look at these people and you look at their lives and look at what they've done, what they do. 51. Okay, didn't tell me here. Father, mother, brother. But but I think that Alveda had some kids pretty early herself. That's where I was going with that. That she wasn't this little good girl, this little preacher's daughter. But we always said those preacher kids, those PKs, were the worst. They were the kids the girls who got pregnant, and the boys were always into everything, from the homosexuality to being hoes, and being switch hitters. So it's what it is. Hey, look. So what I want to talk about today, one of the things I want to talk about today, is Joe Biden and the Democrats and their lack of addressing real issues that are important to Black people. Black people don't care about criminal justice reform. Black people don't care about Black Lives Matter only when it matters when a cop shoots someone. That's not where Black people are coming from. That's where those two lesbians and that African chick are coming from, but that's not where Black Americans are coming from. In fact, Black Americans are fighting back and rebelling against the Black Lives Matter crew. Yeah, they're rebelling against the Black Lives Matter crew. They think that they can really dictate, and if you don't get on board with Black Lives Matter, then you're not Black. What did Joe Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. That's a hell of a statement. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. Well, I would never vote for Biden. I would never vote for Obama. I think they're both racist. Oh, man. But I do want to play something that the president said today that I found very powerful, very uplifting, very inspirational. And if the Democrats had taken this tact, instead of trying to talk about how bad things are and how dark things are, then they may have fared better in their ratings. But I heard their ratings were horrible. That's what I heard. I don't know. I know I didn't watch it. I watched the basketball games because the basketball games were on at the same time the convention was on. So like last night I watched, what's that group? I watched the Lakers blow out. Who they blow out? They blew out Portland. Portland played a good game night before last. And they put up a real fight. They really did. I thought it was great. Postmaster General, I think the American people should have Democrats accuse Trump of trying to make it harder to vote, please. Just reading a headline on TV. Bottom line is get your ass up, get to the polls, vote, and go home. Shit. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. I get tired of people playing games, man. Let's get up. Let's get it done. But the president, I thought his message today from Arlington, I thought he hit the nail right on the head about the Democrats, the DNC, Joe Biden. Nobody mentioned China. Nobody mentioned bringing jobs back to America. He talks a good game, but he helped to send jobs. I remember those people, the Obama Biden people, said we are managing the transition of America from the number one superpower to number two superpower. That's all we can do. We can manage it. It's just happening. Our empire is falling. That's just history. Well, it's history when you have homosexuals who become important in your society. If you don't believe me, ask the Romans. If you don't believe me, ask the Egyptians. We were always taught that these dynasties fell and these empires fell because of homosexuality among the men. I don't know if it's true or not. I can only tell you it did. And the poor Greeks, they didn't stand a chance. Oh, Alexander the Great, he was a homo. Well, yeah. And his little dynasty, his little empire crashed right around his little homosexual behind. Who are you going to fight harder for? The person next to you that you love? How could you love having sex with an anus? It's stinky. It's diseased. Anyway. So I want to play a little clip from Mr. Trump, our president. I think it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. It's inspiring to me. Hope it's inspiring to you.
Gloomiest convention in American history. They spent 4 straight days attacking America as racist and a horrible country that must be redeemed. Joe Biden grimly declared a season of American darkness. And yet look at what we've accomplished until the plague came in. Look at what we've accomplished. And now we're doing it again. It's the most successful period of time in the history of our country from every standard. Look what we've accomplished. And now this plague comes in and look at the way they talk, but look at what's happening and look at how we're shooting up. We call it a super V. It's no longer a V, it's a super V. And they didn't think that could happen, and they're probably not happy about it. They want to punish America and its citizens instead of holding them high. Where Joe Biden sees American darkness, I see American greatness. We've seen heroic doctors and nurses racing into action to save lives. We've seen first responders helping strangers in need. We've seen the passage of historic legislation to save 50 million American jobs. We've mobilized American industry like never before. We've built military hospitals from scratch to produce life-saving therapies, and we're on track to develop the most incredible from a standpoint of time, record time, vaccines. We have vaccines. You'll be reading about them very soon, way, way ahead of schedule, years ahead of schedule. This would have been where...
Wow. Just think of all these great things we've done. Now, I was listening to Kramer the other day. And Kramer said, first of all, we didn't have a V recovery. Then he said, we have a V recovery. Listen to this. I think this tells all. We do have a V recovery, and it's a great thing. Let's see here. Don't call it a comeback, Kramer said. The S&P ability to hit a new all-time high today. We have a V-shaped recovery in the stock market, not the economy. Okay. So that's great.
A diagnosis of metastatic breast cancer can bring up questions that make you feel like shutting down. Go here. Find your NBCvoice.com.
The S&P 500 just hit a new all-time high, taking out the previous peak on February 19th. And all I heard is it's because we're having a V-shaped recovery. Wrong, wrong, wrong. They know nothing. Not just wrong, but actually laughable. In a V-shaped recovery, the Dow Jones Industrial Average would be hitting new highs, but this move's been led by the NASDAQ and the S&P, including today. That Dow Jones Industrial's lost 67 points, even as the S&P advanced 0.23% and the NASDAQ gained a staggering 0.73%. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. Just look at the stocks that have brought us to these levels. They're not the recovery plays. In fact, they are the opposite. They are stocks that tend to do well because of what we call secular considerations. No, not secular like non-religious, but secular as in they are doing well because of trends in their own industries, not the economy. Far from it. Allow me to explain. We have had a magnificent V-shaped recovery in the stock market, but the stock market's not a great reflection of the broader economy anymore. If anything, the actual economy is in precarious shape, especially now that the government stimulus package has run out and Congress went home for the summer rather than trying to come up with a replacement. And don't even get me started on the destruction of small business that's about to happen. So I want to put this whole notion of a V-shaped recovery on trial because it doesn't stand up to even the most mild of scrutiny. First witness for the prosecution in this list of stocks that have done well is PayPal. Yes, it's the best performer in the S&P since the February peak. Now, last week, we interviewed CEO Dan Schulman. He made it clear that PayPal's business is on fire because nobody wants to touch cash when it could be bathed in COVID.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? Could be bathed in coronavirus. Chipotle is doing well. All of these sector funds are doing well. Very well. Very well. But the president, if anyone gave hope, if anyone created, it was inspired, it had to be listening to Donald Trump respond to these morons. I mean, he was just very, very clear and very precise and didn't mince any words. Didn't mince any words at all. I love it. You know, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. So Donald Trump is listening to Joe Biden, and Joe is totally gloom and doom. Totally gloom and doom. Okay. Let's see here. Where is Joe? Oh, Joe. Here we go. Joe is totally doom and gloom. And I'm listening to this and I'm going, I don't see America quite this way.
Ella Baker, a giant of the civil rights movement, left us with this wisdom. Give people light. They will find the way. Give people light. Those are words for our time. The current president has cloaked American darkness for much too long. Too much anger, too much fear, too much division.
Too much.
Here and now,
Too much.
I give you my word.
Hello. That was me coming through. Sorry about that. But Joe said, hey, I'm giving you my word. This is what I'll do for you. And he can't deliver. You know, he can talk a good game, but here's a guy who's had an opportunity to deliver education for blacks, safe cities for blacks, economic opportunity for all of us, and especially blacks. And he never has. The Biden acceptance speech. You can't make this stuff up, boy. You can't make this stuff up. I wish you could, but you can't. Biden is clear and intent on taking credit for things that he just didn't do and he can't do. He cannot turn around the economy. He didn't know how. He's a bureaucrat.
Warning. If you have more than $20,000 in an IRA or 401k.
He's a politician. I'm not going to play that for you today. We'll just go ahead and scream right through it. But here we go.
This will determine what America is going to look like for a long, for our time. the way, give people light. Ella Baker, a giant of the civil rights movement, left us with this wisdom: give people light.
Ella Baker was a black woman. I think she was out of Alabama. Now, why Joe cited her about give us light, I don't know. When he sided with the segregationists, Joe Biden sided with the segregationists over busing, over integration. Talked about having racial jungles in schools. I don't want my children in racial jungles. That's what he said. So is that to say that black people are monkeys? I think so. So why no one saying that? And then you have Colin Powell, who I call dopey. That's when I started calling Colin Powell dopey. He and his Jamaican lilt. All of a sudden he's Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, my Jamaican roots. You know, go to hell, Colin. You know, that's why when we do in these programs should be for Black Americans of slavery descent, not these people who come here from the Caribbean, South America, Latin America, or Africa. But again, as I often say, black people are just stupid. Oh, we need more people of color. No, you need to work with these white people who've had your back all these years. That's what you need to do. That's what Booker T. Washington talked about, working with people who had our back. You know, we worked well with white people. White people worked well with us. We built this country together. Not the Jamaicans, not the Trinidadians, the Bajans, please. I tell you, Americans descendants of slaves. You know, it always tickled me when we talk about ADOS that some of my Irish friends here in Chicago would say, well, my relative was treated like a slave. And I said, well, why do you say that? And they'd go into their little reason. And I go, well, the difference was if a white man or a man beat your grandfather, your great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, he could be arrested. If he raped your mother or your sister, he would be arrested. Whereas these things were commonplace among blacks and whites. Whites certainly took advantage of blacks and had their way with them because they knew the law, as today, would not, and people will not enforce the law. I got a case right now where the Chicago PD refuses to enforce the law, but I'm gonna get on it. Man, let's see, what time is it? It was 1:36. Good. It's 1:36. Let's see, did Pedro call in? Nah, man. Pedro, boy, I tell you. Anyway. So Joe Biden says, you know, we have to, you know, she said, just give me light. Yeah, like give me light, meaning Democrat, get out the way. Liberal, get out the way. We don't need your input. We don't want your input. We don't want you here. Joe didn't get that message, though. See, because for Joe, like many other liberals, it's all about them. Let me see if trying to see. I need to go out here and check and see if my deal is up and running. Red state. Because when I get this feeling that it's red state. Yeah. See here. Hear that noise in the background? That's the noise of commerce on the river right down below me. The river. And hey, it is what it is. But that's what we do. That's what we continue to do. That's what happens. That's what happens. So, okay, so I got this done, right? Okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to play Joe Biden and his acceptance speech. And he starts out quoting a black woman. I mean, really? Why does everybody want to quote Fannie Lou Hamer and this other woman? Fannie Lou Hamer was very, very poignant for a number of reasons.
It's one of the most difficult moments America's ever
Oh, you know
faced.
what I need to do? I'm sorry. I needed to cut those off because I forgot that I had another system open, so was picking up my a broadcast outside of the radio or outside of the soundboard on the computer. Joe Biden acceptance speech. Yeah, here's Joe Biden. Let me tell you, man, this dude, he's bad. And the thing about it, he's lying. See, that's the thing that it upsets me, and no one calls him on it. The guy is always lying.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why.
The guy is,
I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
the guy is always lying.
Start adding
lying.
less to cart and more to savings.
Well, there we go. I'll cut that off. Okay, cool. Now, here we go with Joe. Here we go. Sleepy Joe.
A giant of the civil rights movement. Good evening. Ella Baker, a giant of the civil rights movement, left us with this wisdom. Give people light, and they will find the way. Give people light. Those are words for our time. The current president has cloaked American darkness for much too long. Too much anger, too much fear, too much division. Here and now, I give you my word. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I will be an ally of the light, not the darkness. It's time for us.
Okay, he'll be an ally of what? Illegal immigration. Oh, we need to do something about the DACA children. Oh, we need to make the 11 million people, we need to bring them out of the shadows and give them light. Does he think we're stupid? I hope you're not that stupid, people. This is a dangerous man. That's what he's talking about. I'm gonna bring you into the light. He's gonna bring those 11 million illegals. It's more like 20 or 30 million illegals out of the shadows. But see, they don't want to talk in those numbers. They were talking 11 million 20 years ago. But see, most Americans are so dumb, they never do their homework. They just look at TV. Like this guy, I was talking to this guy the other day, yesterday, really a nice man. And he said, well, where do you get your information? I mean, you seem well read. You know, is it CNN? Is it the Tribune? And he went on naming these. I said, no, that's not how I get informed. And I explained to him that, these were contrived stories put together by people, by young producers. So when they talk about 11 million people, who's fact checked that? It's way more than 11 million illegal people living in America. Way more. It has to be. It was 11 million, like I said, 20 years ago. So Joe, he sits there and he has his hands folded. And I'm going to bring you into the light. Yeah, he's going to bring people into the light. He's going to destroy America as we know it. All this English versus Spanish crap. We're an English-speaking country, damn it. Our Constitution says you have to be able to read 3 lines of English write 3 lines of English, and you have to listen to 3 lines of English. This is in the Constitution. This is about citizenship, becoming a citizen. I didn't make it up. Okay, here we go.
For we, the people, to come together and make no mistake, united we can and will overcome this season of darkness in America.
There is no season of darkness in America. We will overcome. The season of darkness in America was Joe Biden. And what's that boy's name? Barack Obama. You talking about season of darkness in America? These guys sold us out. They sent jobs overseas. They made sure that we, oh man, come on. This is my boy Ron Ham. Yeah. Yeah, hey Ron. It's my boy Ron Ham. Where is he? He's gone. But he called me back. Great guy. Great guy. I'm gonna put him up here. Put him on the Hey Ron, this is Butler.
This is Ron.
Hey Ron, this is Butler.
Butler, what's going on, man?
Hey man, I got your message, but I got you on you coming through my radio show, so be careful what you say.
Okay.
How you been?
Man, I've been okay. I've been all right. How about you?
How's this coronavirus thing treating you?
You know what, man? It's I had the antibodies test, and I've done all this stuff, and I think I'm good. No clients have got rid of me yet because of this. But I will tell you, it's been busy because everybody wants to know what's in these packages, and what else is available here, and what legislation can be useful, and regulations and all that stuff. It's actually during all the peak of this thing. People typically come to visit Washington, so I was really busy. As a matter of fact, I was involved in several conferences where they had people running around with COVID-19. So
what?
Luckily, yeah, man. I mean, and it was right around March when they shut everything down. I was at a conference at a big sponsored a reception. They were like, yeah, people at this thing, man, in the same room we're all in. They had it.
Dang.
Man,
weren't you scared?
Yeah, because it's rough on black people, man. This disease, and it's funny with my boys. They're like, man, I think they're blowing this thing up too much. I was like, nah, man, no. I don't think they're blowing it up too much. Because they're young and they can do whatever. So they're like, I never get sick anyway. And I was like, well, I'm 50, almost 53 years old, so I got to be careful with this. But, it's been interesting, man. How about you? You survived it too. So.
Yeah, but man, listen, I messed around and caught pneumonia, brother.
Oh, God.
And so I had walking pneumonia for about 6 weeks. And I'm walking and I'm short of breath. I can't go 50 yards without stopping.
Wow.
And and so I feel vulnerable when I go out, because I don't have any strength, and I'm just sleeping all the time. So Herman Cain died. Okay.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
So when Herman died, I said, you know what? I better get my behind in to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in to see in the emergency care. Well, they call it immediate care. And man, it is so cool. It's not the emergency room. It's like a place that you go in, you walk into, and they take care of you. It's not an emergency room, right?
Okay.
So it's called immediate care. So I walk in and they hook me up, man. They do the physical, do the triage, do my chest x-rays, and determine that I have pneumonia. And they put me on a battery of antibiotics. And so I finished that, and I was feeling great, man. I was exercising, man. I was on the floor, man, had my, doing my little yoga exercises. opposite leg up, opposite hand out, arm out, you know. Man, I had a little setback. And so I called my boy, Jerome Corsi. And Corsi hooked me up with this hydrochloroquine, the zinc, and the erythromycin. So I took that cocktail. And I'm cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And people were saying, man, I can't believe you're going to take the cocktail. I said, what is it going to hurt?
Right.
It's not like it's going to kill me.
Right.
I remember, but you remember that black woman who was, she was a state rep from Detroit. You don't remember her? Okay. So there was a black woman about 3 months ago. She was a state representative at Michigan. She was out of Detroit. So she got sick. She was at home. And man, she said she couldn't breathe. She couldn't do it. So her husband convinced the doctor to give her that cocktail. And he went and got the cocktail. And she went to the White House and said, this saved my life. I don't care what people say about the president.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep, I got you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she took it too.
Yeah. So I mean, like the deal is, what harm is it?
Right.
But these people, these Democrats, man, they will do anything to win, and they don't want the American people to be free. I was listening to Biden last night, and I'm thinking to myself,
that's a great speech, man.
Hey, listen. It may have been great in terms of words, but that son of a bitch ain't never. You've been on the hill. How long you been on the hill, man?
Yeah, with 20, he been up there.
Hold on, wait a minute. How long? No. How long have you been on the hill?
25 years, man.
You've been on the hill quarter of a century.
Right.
Joe Biden's been on the hill half a century.
Right.
You've done more in legislation than Joe Biden.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even really. It's funny, man, because he was just somebody I knew he was up there, but, you know, he wasn't really a big player like I would deal with McCain and some of the bigger guys. I just never really dealt with him, man. Yeah.
Well, the first time I heard of this little punk, he was talking about a jungle. He was talking about a racial jungle. He didn't want his kids going to school in a racial jungle. So I'm going, he calling black folks monkeys.
Right.
And so everybody kind of overlooks that, but everyone knows that he said that. They have him on tape saying it. They have him on video saying. I remember being in college and saying to my friends, this is who Democrats are. They're racist ass people. And they go, oh, no, they're not racist. It's Republicans who are racist. Look at Tricky Dick. I said, well, look at Tricky Dick. All Tricky Dick has done is make neighborhoods safe again. He told the rioters, guess what? You riot, we're going to put you down. And, you know, this is the thing about Chicago, Ron. I mean, Ron, you and I could go on for hours here, but let me tell you about Chicago. Chicago is just coming back, bro. I mean, you had grocery store, big grocery stores going into black neighborhoods, whereas before you had about 60 square miles where there were no major grocery stores in these areas. So the area started coming back like the last 4 years. They put up a Aldi's. They put up Whole Foods. They put up Mariano's, which is Kroger. They put up Domino's or whatever. Man, do you know those Negroes burnt? People went out and protected. Some people were out protecting the stores, man, from the looters.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
That's the problem I have with that whole thing, man, because it's like, hell, you're tearing up stuff that your community's finally getting. You've been crying, you don't have anything. But then you're going to go burn it up, tear it up. If I'm in charge, if that's my company, I don't want to come back and give you.
But guess what? I don't have a right to. I don't have to sit and listen to you. So, So I'm coming from. So what did your brother say?
He said you can do it, you can protest all you, but I don't have to listen to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I entertain that stuff. He's straight up. He's like, now I have time for that stuff.
So, man, I'm up north, right? I'm up north, and I'm coming through Evanston, which is, Evanston has Northwestern and the hospitals, and, it's kind of upscale. But parts of it are poor. Part of it is, black. So, and poor white folks. So I'm on this street called, I think it's called the end of Lakeshore Drive. So it's called Sheridan probably. So anyway, I'm sitting at a stoplight, and if I had known or had seen these people earlier, I probably would have ran the stoplight. But I stop at the stoplight, and these people come out when the light changed, and they're in the middle of the street shouting Black Lives Matter. Well, I'm sitting there in this big S-Class Mercedes with my sunglasses on, smoking a cigar. I got all the windows locked up, right?
Yeah.
They ran over and started beating on my car. Oh, Ron, they ran over and started beating on my car, man. Now, Ron, when I was younger, I probably would have responded differently. Right. But I'm sitting here. I got a Ruger SC on my hip.
I was gonna ask, did you have some? You always got your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I got 17 hollow point bullets in this baby, right? And I'm thinking, hey, it's an old car. I don't give a shit. As long as they don't knock my windows out, which they couldn't do in this car, I'm good. I'm good. So the light changed, and I eased through them because they weren't gonna move, man. They just, because I guess I'm sitting there smoking a cigar. I'm not bothering anybody. I don't care that you think Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter to me, but I'm more concerned about some baby face looking kid who could be my nephew pulling up to a stoplight and blowing my behind away.
That's right.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's funny.
Yeah, in Chicago, I thought they're gonna put these fools down when they went down on Michigan went downtown and started doing all that craziness. I was like, they're gonna put the fire on those kids, man. But what you think about Lori Lightfoot, man? Man,
I don't like her. I've never liked her. Anybody that's talking about her wife sleep with. Wait a minute, she sleep with this white woman, big dorky looking white chick, man. I'm like, really? I mean, they look like Mutt and Jeff, okay?
And they got a daughter, and I'm trying to, is the daughter hers?
No, man, they I think they adopted her, but she all messed up. I mean, the chick, she all twisted. I mean, people look at her, listen to her, they go, that child needs some help. She needs some therapy.
Yeah. She just, I was like, I didn't know much about her. I mean, I read a little bit, but I was like, she didn't impress me at all, man.
Man, she thinks she's a dude, right? Like she told that, did you see when she told that alderman F you? She said, I think you're full of S. And he said, what? F you. Now he a gay. He openly gay now, right? But what he was trying to tell him what he was trying to say to her was, what are you going to do about these Hispanics who in my neighborhood who are pulling blacks out of cars and beating them? And she said, well, I think you're full of S. Well, guess what? A black woman got pulled out of her car, pregnant, got pulled out of her car. These gang members beat her up. So the Latin Kings called the black gang members and said, hey, look, these were young boys. We don't beat women. We don't touch women. We'll deal with them. And so they killed them, man.
Oh, wow. So Latinos be attacking the blacks out there, huh?
Oh, man, we at war. We've always been at war. We don't get along. The only place where these people try to get along is in Washington, D.C. with them dumbass Negroes talking about people of color with their dumb asses.
Right.
And Sonia Munoz, who's stealing everything, sitting down the office, down the hall from Barack Obama, stealing everything for Latinos, and Barack Obama telling black folks they need to pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
Right.
I mean, man, if that dude wasn't half black, they'd be talking about how racist he was. And then Michelle, I mean, ain't she about a joke?
Michelle Yeah, and I told Lisa the other night because I mean she talks about it. She'll look at, she doesn't read her books or anything, but she watched her talk the other night. I'm like, yeah, I really didn't. I dealt with folks in the White House quite a lot. I never really dealt with her, but she just talks about how much she hates politics all the time. I'm like, oh, okay.
Man, she is a surly. Hey, let me tell you what she is, because I know her.
Okay.
I know her and Barack. She's a surly, hateful black woman.
Okay.
She's always got an attitude. You notice how Barack is always smiling. He's kind of light.
Yeah.
That's the way he has to be to deal with that surly chick, man. Whenever you see her, she got attitude.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about her because I was like, she seems like she would be that like warm and fuzzy to be hanging around with. She just, just the way she comes off. And I was like, she seems like she wants to be cursed. So it was just interesting in how in seeing her, because she doesn't look like she's inviting to a lot of different people. That's what I get from her.
Well, she's not. And see, and people like me, she and I got along because I cuss her ass out.
Right.
So she and I got along well, because they just I treat women just like I treat men.
Right.
If you
opportunity, right?
Equal opportunity ass kicker.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let me ask you this. So how would you deal with?
Hold it just 1 second. Hold it just 1 second.
Okay.
Hey folks, we're getting ready to sign off of Red State Talk Radio, and this is Ron Ham, a young man who has one of the top lobbying firms in Washington D.C. And so you can catch us though on YouTube, The Reality Check. So switch over there. We're still live. Okay. Take care. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Valerie Jarrett, what's your read on her, man? She getting a lot of TV time these days.
Well, Valerie, you have to remember. Quick story about Valerie.
Okay.
Valerie was dating a friend of mine, and they had been dating about 3 years. They were a couple. And I saw him at the Union League Club, and I told him that Gwen and I had, gotten divorced. He said, hey, man, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Those things happen, I was like, yeah, you're right. I said, but you and Val split up. He said, man, this chick was coming home trying to boss me around like I work for her. And I had to tell her, hey, I don't work for you. I don't work for you. What don't you get? He said, she could not, just like my old lady, she could not drop that. This is what I do for a living at the door. Hey, I don't care what you do for a living. Drop that shit at the door, because it don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
So these chicks, man, that's the game they try to play. Well, I'm the CEO. Yeah, bitch. Get on the bed, bend over, and let's deal with this.
Right. Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard to be married to those kind of women. For me, I don't think it would be for me, man. Because I think, it gets into, because they've gotten to high places and all this Ivy
Some of them.
Stuff, and some of them, it's like they look down on a man like you're half of what you're supposed to be because they're that much above you. Yeah,
but that much above you, according to whom? Right. You look at my old lady. She's been looking for a job for like 8 months. Okay.
Well, she's not there doing what she was doing before, man.
She's not. But okay. They lost that $10 billion company. Every company that she was on the board of, or she had anything to do with, went belly up. That should tell you about her skill set. And I told her, I said, you're not a business person. You're a corporate person. You're a person who you fit in well in a bank, in a clog, but you can't run a business. You don't have the mentality or the hustle to understand how to run a business.
Right.
How to get out and hustle. You go to work with your little title and you think that, you're all important. Hey, see, I've never allowed my business title to dictate who the hell I am, even when I was a naval officer. Because those white boys had 2 words for me, ensign and nigga.
Right.
Okay. And I understood that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I had to deal with them and deal with that respect issue, but still I didn't let my title dictate who the hell I am in life.
Right. Yeah.
But these people, they do. And then when they lose their title, they're lost. Oh my God.
Right.
I'm devastated. I'm gonna go suck on the end of a gun. Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't sucking on the end of no damn gun.
No.
Hey man, my boy got busted the other day, man. Steve Bannon.
I thought about you, and actually, when you called me yesterday, I was actually with Fraternity Brothers. We were doing this COVID-19 community service food drive. People coming up. There's a lot of people hurting around. So we have a fraternity brother that's an alpha brother that's a minister. So we went to his church, and they got a big drive where they've been doing it like every week for the last month or so.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing. So I saw it. I was like, yeah, this is a frat brother right here, man. So yeah, but yeah, he got busted. They said he could get a lot of time off this, man.
Well, man, listen. Why is Hillary
set up?
Why is Hillary Clinton still walking around?
You tell me. Yeah.
I mean, if they haven't arrested Hillary Clinton on all the stuff, I mean, and she just keeps, and I won by 3 million votes, and I still lost. I mean,
yeah.
You didn't win the electorate. You didn't win the.
You lost.
You remember? I remember David Axelrod. They kept asking David Axelrod in 2008, David, what are you trying to accomplish with your campaign? And David would look right in the camera and he'd say, I'm trying to find the fastest way to 270.
That's it, man. Yeah.
Hey, but am I lying?
No,
He did that. He looked right in the camera. I'm trying to find the fastest way to 270. Right. And these people are talking about, well, the popular vote. We should have a popular. I need a
popular. She really won. No, she didn't win. Yeah.
No, well, to our process. I mean, at the end of the day, Ron, we're not a democracy. We're a republic. People always use the term democracy, but we're really a republic, meaning that the majority and the minority are represented. Whereas in a democracy, the majority rules. And Democrats would have you believe that because see, what people don't understand, and you trace the history of the Democrat Party. They started back with Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was a damn Democrat.
That's right.
And Thomas Jefferson was a slaveholder.
That's
you look at.
I was in Charlottesville. I went up to his place last month. I had my youngest son up there.
How did he like it?
It's nice up there. He toured the school and all of that.
Is he gonna play ball? Is he gonna play ball?
Virginia's hard to play because that's a top D1. He wants to play, yeah. But I don't know. Virginia's that's a tough one, man. Because they're really, really, that's an excellent team. But you get a great education there. But yeah, he wants to play, so he's looking at places to play. But yeah, Thomas Jefferson, they talked, and then of course there was some of his descendants they've had on television.
Well, the thing is, man, all of these white boys have fathered black. They was tearing that black thing up.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it was theirs. They owned it. They walk on down they'd walk on down to the slave quarters and say, Sally, come out here. Come out here, Sally, and bend over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember this one case where this slave woman told this guy, her owner, her master, that she was not going to screw him anymore because her slave husband told her if she kept having relations with this guy. See, these are all the things how these white people treat us and treated our families.
Right.
They've had total disregard for our women. They've had total lack of respect for our institutions. They never included us as being married or respected us as being married or our families or anything else. And here we come into 2020 with the same BS. Nobody's addressed these issues because Negro preachers are too embarrassed. Well, I am, because they're part of the problem. They run around here raping women and hoeing in the church.
Oh, big time. Oh, yeah.
And hoeing in the church. Shit, I got to get me a church, man. That's my next move.
Yeah,
I got to get me a...
Our pastor left, and he was from, our pastor left retired after 20-some years, so we got this new young guy in there. Oh, my God, man, this guy, he's like 40 years old, and you can't tell him anything. He said he wants to be the CEO and pastor, and it's like, slow down, bro. So he's, and then plus they said they said they're not too sure about his sexual orientation.
Well, hey, listen.
I'm like,
hey, listen, listen, man. This is the truth. Think about this. You look at our fraternity.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at all the switch hitters in that bad boy. And we talking about prominent men.
Yeah.
I remember being in San Diego. I don't know if you remember the old Town and Country because it changed names.
Oh yeah, I remember it down in Mission Valley.
Mission Valley, Town and Country. So these guys invited me down to a football game, to watch a football game at Town and Country. They had a suite. So, man, I walk up in there, man, these Negroes, these all doctors, lawyers, dentists, walking around in their skivvies, man. I walk in there, and listen, Ron, I walk in there, I look around, I'm going, oh, hell no.
I tell you, when I was out of Las Vegas for our national last year, it was almost sad, Butler. Man, it's like, God, these dudes just like out and you can't. Well, if they say something to them, then we're discriminating.
I call them out.
It's like, God,
I call them out. I call them out. You fucking sodomite. I call them out. Ron, I don't give them any break. No, I want to be in there. I want to participate with them.
You want to get in the middle of that.
I want to be right in the middle of that. Okay? I don't see anything wrong with two women loving each other.
Right.
Especially if I'm in the middle.
Right. Yeah, so, because you got some preachers around here, too, and I saw a guy Sunday. He said, man, there's a pastor people listen to. He's Alpha Street Baptist, which is a historic church in Alexandria. This guy's actually, he grew up in Chicago, John Howard Wesley. So anyway, he's sort of now preaching the acceptance of quote everybody and God loves everybody, and pretty much you can do what you want. And people are like, nah, we're not really feeling that because we know who you're trying to include in
wait a minute.
In what you're talking about.
Wait a minute. All I say is remember Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's it.
Hey, remember the story of Lot?
Yeah.
Them dudes wanted to screw the angels. The angels told Lot, hey, look, get your family together and don't look back. Leave town and don't look back because we getting ready to destroy this bad boy.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it up, exactly. So so it's funny with my boys. They like, man, they see that stuff, they're like, man, that's some sick stuff right there.
Man, but I mean, just on the face of it, Ron, I mean, that is a hole for excreting waste.
That's true.
Not sexual pleasure.
Right.
Who, it, hey,
told me one time, things only supposed to come out of there, not go in.
That's it. To be expelled. I saw these two gay dudes having sex on a movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And this young white boy was getting his ass out, right? And he did not look gay.
Uh-huh.
Ron, he did not look happy. He did not look gay. I said, I call them homosexuals. So they get mad because the term is gay. I said, no, the term is homosexual. So when they talk to me, I don't be playing games. I'm like, hey, the gay means happy. It's an emotion.
That's true.
Gay is an emotion, not a noun for a group of people or a person.
Right.
Well, it's whatever we want it to be. Yeah, well, 3 plus 2 is 6 for some people, but it's 5 for me. So whatever.
Right. So they active in Chicago. I'm sure there's a lot of them over there, huh?
Well, they're trying to come out because we got this lesbian mayor, right?
Yeah, right.
So the lesbian mayor, this shit's too funny. The lesbian mayor tries to put forth legislation to include the LGBT people in minority set-aside contracts.
Oh, I hate that, man.
And man, the Negro said, oh, hell no. Hey, wait a minute. They didn't say no. They were like, oh, hell no. So some white boy come up and say, oh, I'm gay. Ha, ha, ha. And oh, hell no. Man, I was laughing. Because, see, we have allowed these Democrats, these liberals, to co-opt what we do and who we are.
Yeah. I mean, being minority and all that stuff doesn't mean the same because everybody, white.
Everybody minority but the white man.
That's right.
Everybody minority but the white man. Now, how can white women be a minority when they 52% of the population and the white man go out and work for their ass every day? How are they a socially and disadvantaged group when you got somebody going out to work? I wish I could get somebody to go out and work for my ass.
Right. Yeah, and these white cats smart because what they'll do to get these government contracts, they'll put their wives in charge of it, making a woman-owned business, and they're the ones pulling the strings.
But that's an old ploy. I mean, these chicks don't have any experience. No. So when you go behind and say, well, where's your experience? Well, see, that's why J.C. Watts quit the conference because the guy who became they indicted his ass. Tom DeLay, the damn exterminator, rat exterminator.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so Tom DeLay went to JC and said, look, you're going to have to get dirty like me. You're going to have to get your wife. You have to have your wife run one of these companies, run a company or something. And JC said, nah, I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. And he backed out. So.
Yeah, well, at least he maintained he was, on the up and up about it. Because a lot of those cats are not, man. Are not.
Well, man, I tell you, it's hard. And, he's doing okay. But, hey, man.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because I got a call the other day, man. It's funny with this whole Black Lives Matter now. This guy, this lobbying association called me. He's like, we're trying to, we understand it's been harder for black lobbyists all this time. And, we really want to try to correct some of this stuff. But it's just not black lobbyists, it's Latinos and da-da-da-da. I was like, well, you guys want to throw everybody in there. It's one problem. He's like, nah, that's not what we're trying to do. But we really want to, have you be on the panel to talk about, contracts. Because a lot of it is, too, Butler. They're only going to hire you as a black lobbyist in a lot of instances if the contract requires that they need a partner. It's not like they're like, oh, we got a great deal. Ron knows how to do this kind of work. Some of them will, but most, we're going to bring them in. It's typically because, damn, we got to meet this quota. So we'll put them on. And so,
we got to check a box.
Yeah, exactly. They got to check a box. And then they want to say, well, we brought you on, but we're going to get 95%. How about 5%? And it's like, you want me to do 5%, but you brought me on to do like 50% of the work. But which means they feel like they did you a favor to bring you on, so you should do much more work.
But see, you should be able to go to one of them damn congressmen and put that shit out in the open or whatever. But those Negroes are all bisexuals up there, and preachers. Every last, most of them are alphas, and most of them are, and most of them are preachers. And let me say this about the black preachers. And being a politician, ain't no way you could be a politician and be a preacher because it's a dirty damn business.
It's a conflict of interest.
Hey man, you can't be a man of God and be a damn politician.
Right.
Not on that level. Hey, not sit in the House of Representatives.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But dirt, you got to do some dirt, man.
Man, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the system's set up. It's a give take, quid pro quo. Like Joe Biden said, hey. If you don't get rid of this prosecutor who's trying to put my son out of business, you ain't getting that $1 billion loan. And the president said, well, you don't have the ability or the authority to make that. He said, call Barack Obama. He'll tell you.
Yeah, he did say that. You're right.
The guy picked up the phone and said, fire that dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they try to make a case for quid pro quo with Trump. I'm like, man, if I ever see Vindman, that damn traitor, I call him a damn. He's a spy, man.
Right.
And they kicked his ass right out the white. They walked him out unceremoniously.
They sure did, man. I'm like, damn, they just not. They're like, you out of here, man.
And his brother.
And his brother too. Yeah, and his brother. So yeah, so.
But listen, Ron, how these white boys get these jobs? This is a white boy from the Ukraine. A black guy would have to be the baddest son of a bitch in the whole crew to get this job. This is just a mediocre ass white boy.
He is. I mean, $50,000 a month. Yeah, Yeah,
Lieutenant Colonel.
Anything like that. You got to be a white boy to get that.
Yeah, so you're a lieutenant colonel, and you sitting on the National Security Council, and he shows up for his testimony every day in his uniform, in his dress uniform. Yeah. When he go to the White House every day in a suit. Right. Yeah. So Ron, when they put his ass under oath, the first thing he said was, "Well, no, I don't advise the president directly." All before that, he was, "Yes, I advise the president. I'm the advisor to the president on the Ukraine. I advise." Man, they put his ass under. I would like to get something straight.
I don't advise. That's changed now.
I don't. Hey, I've never met the president. I've never briefed the president directly. No, I'm like, dude. Well, why are you here? You made your whole bones the other day, that the last month, that you advise the president. That's what you said. Exactly. You're the advisor to the president on the Ukraine. Man, listen. You know what our problem is? Mm-hmm. Our problem is we're too damn smart.
Yeah.
See, they like dumb black folks, like that damn Silk and what's her name?
Oh, Diamond and Silk.
Diamond. You talking about two ghetto ass Negro chicks? They just put them on Newsmax, man. Newsmax wouldn't give me a job.
Yeah, because I see Newsmax. It's funny, they were calling me to invest in Newsmax. When they were seeking financial.
Yeah, Chris Rowdy.
Yeah. They called me. They said, "Man, we had some conversations back." But you're right, man. Because I was like, "That's the kind of place you should be on, man."
You know, man. Listen, they don't want any intellectual exchange. They want that ghetto shit because that's what they think, and that's who they think we are. Right. And so I refuse to participate. Just like this new network I'm working with, it's called Black Conservative News. And as far as I'm concerned, the guys are trying to ghetto it out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be part of that. I've been doing this too long to let my message get tied up in some ghetto shit. You know, I'm not getting tied up in Candace Owens and Larry Elder. Larry Elder is truly the definition of what black folks consider an Uncle Tom.
Okay. And I was going to ask you about, because I see him on the news, him on the news quite a bit. Yeah. So I was like, yeah.
He said what white people want him to hear, what white people want him to say.
He's a mouthpiece. Okay.
When I see him, man, I just want to slap his ass, man.
Right. Yeah.
He the kind of brother you want to beat down. He went to University of Michigan Law School. So I'm going to sucker him in with a little U of M. Hey, baby, look at my U of M pen. Whoop. Sucker punching. Whoop. I need an edge, Ron. I'm 68, baby. I need a little edge.
Man, you sound good, though, man.
Yeah, right.
And you're only 6'8", dude. You're not even 70 yet.
No, man, but shit, I feel it.
It gets you, doesn't it?
Hey, man, listen, let me tell you something. This getting old is not for the faint of heart or for a punk ass dude, okay?
Right.
I don't know how Peyton did it, man.
Yeah, he lived a long time,
man. He collected pensions for 5 or 6 dudes, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because I talked to my boy, and I was like, yeah, I want to be here, but once I'm here and I can't function anymore, maybe I don't want to be here that long. I want to be here as long as I got full capacity,
Man, but you got your kids, you gonna have grandkids, so you got some stuff to hang around for.
Yeah, I'm 50. Well, it's funny. I had a doctor's appointment this morning just to check in, and I had to get because I'm on. I had some blood clots, man, in March, and actually I kept not feeling well, and I've been walking around the hill with clots for 3 weeks straight. So I went to my doctor. She was like, "You got to go to the emergency room." And I was like, "Well," she's like, "No, she's like, you have a blood clot."
Damn.
They need to take a look, but you need to go take care. You're still in your lower leg, I believe, but let them check. So I went. So I'm on these blood centers now, and that kind of stuff. Then I've got IBS, bowel syndrome stuff, so I'm dealing with that as well too. But I've gotten that under control. That was killing me at one point, man.
Man, listen, you got to go on that. You got to get you a Vitamix, man.
Okay.
And eat more. Blend you a bunch of junk and eat you a bunch of more vegetables, man, and fruits. Yeah. You'd be surprised how that helped, man. I dropped from 189 to 269 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting back to being in shape, man. I can't take this being fat because I got.
Because you had lost a lot of weight at one point.
Yeah, I did, but I'm getting ready to get back. Hey, Ron, I'm getting ready to move out to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna be running women in one door and out the back.
Yeah, that's a great place, man. You enjoy it. So you're out of Chicago, huh?
I'm gonna get out of Chicago, man. I'm looking at moving to Henderson.
That's nice. My dad used to live, because my dad lived there and lived out in Vegas. He used to play a lot of golf in Henderson.
Yeah, well, that's the place now, man. Lake Las Vegas.
Yeah, my brother lives in North Vegas, man. My brother's been out there for a long time.
Well, North Vegas, man, that's where black folks used to live.
Yeah, and now where he lives, I think I might have saw one or two black people it's in the gated community and all that because he's in the law enforcement, so he likes to stay protected. So,
he better. He better.
He said he used to put people in jail. He see them on the street, and they're like, well, they would tell him, next time I see you, man. And he said, yeah, that's why I got one on my ankle and one on my side. He said, so if they come up on me, he said, I'm putting it in them, man.
That's it. That's it.
He's been upset about the whole police. He's like, yeah, we can't do anything. He's like, all of us going to want to quit. They keep taking our money away. Now they think we're the worst people on earth because we do a job, man. He's like, they have a couple of bad cops here or there, and they characterize all of us. Because he said he was somewhere and they called him a pig.
Man, you know what? I ain't thinking about these little ignorant people, man. These kids today so fucking stupid. It ain't even funny.
Yep. That's right.
They just stupid. I mean, it's not like and being stupid in 2020 is a whole lot more stupider than 1975 or 1985. Right. These people are stupid.
Yeah.
Especially these young people. And you know what they understand? You know what I told you know what my patent line is? When I'm confronted by these little punks, I say, hey, man, this ain't going to be no video game. It's going to be your blood you're tasting.
Yeah.
Because, see, they think they can fight because they're in the, man, I'm going to kick your ass. Right. Shit. Do you know that 70% of FBI agents have never had a physical fight?
That's amazing. And I know some that work in FBI, and I never knew that, man.
70% of people who go to Quantico as recruits have never had a physical fight.
Wow.
We've become a country of sissies run by women. Oh, you need to have conflict No, I have no damn conflict resolution. We're going to go back here. Right. We're going to whoop up on each other's ass, and then we're going to be best friends.
Yeah. Nah, it is. I mean, I think you hit it on the head. Sometimes I tell my wife, I think, these kids soft, man. I mean,
totally.
Compared to when we were growing up in the 60s and 70s, I was like, it's just, I said, it's a shame, all this entitlement. I said, they emotionally soft. Because sometimes I'll get after you. She's like, oh my God. And she's like, yeah. She's like, they think you just sometimes just crazy. And I was like, I know they do. But I said, I got to let them know who's still in charge in here. I said, you can say and I can move out. And I said, this place would be a damn zoo.
No question.
If I left here.
No question.
Take over here.
No question.
Yeah.
That's why you can't have them. You can't have all these black women talking about I can raise them. And you can't. You a chick. You a damn chick. When I go to the commode to shake my stuff off, you don't know nothing about it. Don't tell me I need to take a piece of tissue and wipe the head of my penis off.
Right.
Shit. It's nasty. It's now you need to take a piece of tissue and wipe. I'm like, I told one of my relatives, leave that boy alone. Shit. Have people laughing at his ass. Well, what's wrong? What's wrong with that? I said, you know what? You're not a man. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Right. Yeah.
What's wrong? What's wrong with wiping your penis off after you pee? Please. Shit. Hey, look, man. Hey, look, man. I can talk to you, man, for 2 or 3 hours, man. But look, when I get to Vegas, dude, you have to come out and spend some time with me, man.
I will, man. I like it. Like I said, my brother's out there, so that give me a real reason. Because my dad went back. He has buddies. Because, after my mom died, he went there and lived and retired. And he still would go out to see his boys out there now to go play golf and hang out. So now I come out there, man. I like Vegas.
Yeah, well, I had plenty of room. I know your brother got plenty of room, and shit, man. I remember we used to go to church together. You was my church going alpha brother.
I told Lisa that. I said, yeah, he was my church going alpha. And let me tell you, you know that Rodney Carey called me. Bob Matthews died. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know he died, man. Bob was a character. Bob was a good man, but he was hard, man.
Oh God, oh yeah.
He was hard, man.
I remember working on that parade with him and you, and
I tore his ass up.
Yeah, he used to get in there and just, boy, he could go all, he could pontificate for him.
But he didn't when I was there, motherfucker. Get your report.
You're right. And then Larry Sadler died too.
I didn't know Sadler died.
Yeah, Sadler died some months ago. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I talked to Gene. He didn't even tell me.
Yeah. So Gene is still out there, right?
Yeah, I talked to Gene about a month ago. That's how I knew that Bob had died.
Bob had died, and then Dave Wynn's still doing his thing. Now, I have not talked to Leon. Have you talked to him?
Man, Leon ain't surfaced, man. After his mother-in-law kicked him out.
Hold up. What?
Well, when Jennifer died, his mother-in-law kicked him out.
So that wasn't his house?
That was his mother-in-law's house.
Oh. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, I wonder what's up with Leon. And actually, Rodney was like, I ain't seen him, man. That's what he told me.
Hey, man, shit. Leon ain't returning calls. You know what? You can get to Leon is you got to get to him through the architect. Frisco.
Okay.
Frisco.
Oh, Frisco White, yeah.
Yeah, I love Frisco, man. Frisco was good dude.
Frisco's a good dude, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to get through to him. And then, of course, I saw Frank Russell. We spent some time chatting when I was in Vegas. So he's out there, too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he lives in California.
Yes, he does. You're right. But he left his wife. He left Jackie, too. I guess they divorced or whatever, too.
Yeah, they've been divorced. But, Jackie was having problems living in Vegas. She had allergies.
Oh, okay.
And so they moved back to San Diego. And then Jackie did some messed up stuff. And shit, Frank dropped her ass. Whoop. But she taking care of him. I mean, when he got sick, she went right out there to take care of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and so, Gwen, do you ever talk to him or you done with that?
Well, man, I'll tell you about that offline because we still on the air.
Okay.
Hey, look, man, I got to run. I got a conference, but hey, I'll circle back with you over the weekend.
Yeah, okay, sounds good, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, man, tell your wife and the boys hello for me, and I love them, okay?
Okay, I will do. I love you too, man.
Okay, love you too. All right. Hey, folks, we're going to end the show. We got to get ready. Got to get ready to go. Hope you enjoyed Freedom Friday and my good friend Ron Ham, very knowledgeable young man. So take care, y'all. Be good. All right. Donna.